You got a thing for swans? Is this like a fetish? It's something like maybe we need to devote some time to?
Thought about what you said to me the other day about my painting. Stayed up half the night thinking about it. Something occurred to me. I fell into a deep, peaceful sleep, and I haven't thought about you since. You know what occurred to me?
No.
You're just a kid. You don't have the faintest idea what you're talking about.
Why, thank you.
It's all right. You've never been out of Boston.
Nope.
So if I asked you about art, you'd probably give me the skinny on every art book ever written. Michelangelo. I know a lot about him. Life's work, political aspirations, him and the Pope, sexual orientation, the whole works, right? I bet you can't tell me what it smells like in the Sistine Chapel. You never actually stood there and looked up at that beautiful ceiling. Seen that. If I ask you about women, you probably give me a syllabus of your personal favorites. You may have even been laid a few times. But you can't tell me what it feels like to wake up next to a woman and feel truly happy. You're a tough kid. I ask you about war, you probably throw Shakespeare at me, right? Once more into the breach, dear friends. But you've never been near one. You've never held your best friend's head in your lap and watch him gasp his last breath looking to you for help. I ask you about love, you probably quote me a sonnet. But you've never looked at a woman and been totally vulnerable. Known someone that could level you with her eyes. Feeling like God put an angel on earth just for you. Who could rescue you from the depths of hell. And you wouldn't know what it's like to be her angel. To have that love for her, be there forever. Through anything. Through cancer. And you would know about sleeping sitting up in a hospital room for 2 months, holding her hand, because the doctors could see in your eyes that the terms visiting hours don't apply to you. You don't know about real loss, because that only occurs when you love something more than you love yourself. I doubt you've ever dared to love anybody that much. I look at you, I don't see an intelligent, confident man. I see a cocky, scared, shitless kid. But you're a genius, Will. No one denies that. No one could possibly understand the depths of you. But you presume to know everything about me because you saw a painting of mine. You ripped my fucking life apart. You're an orphan, right? Do you think I'd know the first thing about how hard your life has been? How you feel? Who you are? Because I read Oliver Twist? Does that encapsulate you? Personally, I don't give a shit about all that, because you know what? I can't learn anything from you. I can't read in some fucking book. Unless you want to talk about you. Who you are. And I'm fascinated. I'm in. But you don't want to do that, do you, sport? You're terrified of what you might say.
All right, welcome back to our Humble San Diego podcast. We are your hosts, Wesley Swanson, and of course, James Warney. What's up, man?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Good, good. Thank you for joining me once again.
Of course.
So, moving on, this is episode 271, Them Apples, and for this podcast, we will be focusing on Gus Van Sant's 97 breakout hit, Good Will Hunting, of course. But before we get to the film, let's warm up with a few of our usual intro segments, shall we?
Let's do it.
And now for a special news report. Brought to you by Drop the Mic.
All right, so, of course, pop culture news. What do you have for us this week, my man?
It looks like we got our boy Dan Stevens joining the cast of Godzilla vs. King Kong 2. So the sequel to the previous Godzilla vs. King Kong. So very excited to see him joining the cast and excited to see what role he's going to play in this. I'm assuming probably some type of mastermind villain. I don't know what he's going to play, but I'm excited just to have him on board with that project. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I didn't hear about that yet. That's pretty crazy, but I can see why they would pull him in, you know.
Yeah, excited to see this one. Like I said, they haven't released what he's going to be or who he's going to be playing or, what his character is going to be doing in the film. But just to see him attached to that and he's kind of Adam Wingard, I believe he directed The Guest, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so he's kind of like a reunited with an old flame. So that's cool to see. They're going to have chemistry.
Real quick before we move on, have you checked out the update for Warzone, the Godzilla vs. Kong stuff?
I have not. I know that I actually updated it to do it like a week ago, but I haven't gotten the chance to play it. I've just been so dead after coming home from work. I just haven't, even on my days off, I don't really have time to do anything. It's like chores around the house. So hopefully I can squeeze. I'm off tomorrow, so hopefully I can squeeze in some time and while Jordan's at school and kind of get going on that. It'll be fun. I've seen clips and stuff of it, but I'm super excited to play it whenever I get a chance. My next bit of news, it looks like Top Gun Maverick, a little independent film that's coming out this year. Looks like it's coming out with on Rotten Tomatoes. They just released their rating with 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
100%. I've been hearing it's good, but that's hard to believe, though. But I mean,
100%. Again, these ratings will change obviously a little bit. They will fluctuate up and down. Once critics get a chance to fully go into it, I don't know how many critics have actually gotten to see it, but from what I can tell, most of the critics here are praising this film, calling it outstanding, rare. Saying this could be the best movie of the decade. I don't know what you want to do with that. I don't know. I wonder how much that is of people kind of scared to say anything bad about Tom Cruise or what. But best movie of the decade. What are your thoughts on that one for Top Gun Maverick? I
don't know. I don't know if I'll probably wait to watch the movie first, but that's a bold statement there.
Yeah, my thoughts exactly. I seen the first one, Top Gun, when I was super young, so I don't remember too much about it. I'll have to rewatch it again. I just remember bits and pieces of it. Like I said, I think I was probably a little older than Jordan now, so I was probably like 10 or 11 when I watched it. Didn't really understand too much of what was going on in the film, but I'll have to check it out again. I know the soundtrack is pretty good. But yeah, so 100% right now on Rotten Tomatoes. Exciting news for them, I guess. But like I said, it can go down from once more critics kind of get a chance to view it and rate it. But 100%, good for them. And then there's this game coming out, a little video game news. I don't know if we can throw that into this pop culture news, but the video game Gotham Knights. I don't know if you're familiar with that title.
Yes.
So it got pushed back about a year, I think, maybe a couple of months ago, because it was supposed to drop, I think, relatively recent, I think, and it got pushed back again. But it's coming out October 25th, 2022. So a little ways back, but and it's only going to be released on a PS5 and Xbox Series X and PC. So the previous generations, it was actually going to be they were going to release it on PS4 and Xbox One, but they have officially canceled those projects for those consoles. So they're going strictly next gen. Kind of sucks for people who aren't able to afford the next gen stuff, and they were kind of sticking with PS4. Like my brother was super excited to get this game, and he has a PS4. Now, I mean, luckily I have an Xbox, the Series X, but he'll just have to get it and play it on there, or spend over $500 to get a PlayStation 5 when he is able to get it whenever they restock it. But they sell out so fast, it's almost impossible to get them still. But I just think that kind of sucks that they're only going for the next gen consoles to be released on.
Yeah, I know you sent me this news a couple days ago, but I have been hearing that the actual game itself is kind of not great, or it doesn't look good.
Really? I was so excited for this when I first saw the trailer a couple of months ago.
Yeah, that's just what I've been hearing from a few people, but yeah. I
wonder if that's their way to kind of cut costs also, because I guess maybe the game is pretty bad, and why spend the money to make it on a older systems if no one's going to play it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, if it's not going to sell.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, hopefully it is good. Hopefully if there's bugs or whatever, they are able to, fix that and get it, make it better at least. But I'm still going to get it just to, it's in the DC world, so I want to get in and play it. But yeah, so that kind of sucks for that. And then my last bit of news here, actor, I'm going to butcher his name. It's Ngudi Gatwa. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. He is, from what I know him, and he's from Sex Education, a Netflix series. He has been named the next Doctor Who. I don't know if anyone is, big fans of that. I got into it pretty deep when they kind of brought it back in the early 2000s. But then I stopped watching it after Matt Smith joined. I wasn't a fan of his Doctor Who, really. But, yeah, he will be the first black Doctor Who. So, very cool. Excited to see what he can bring to the table and to the character. I know that character has... I think Doctor Who started like in I want to say like the 60s or something. But of course, he's always been white, and I think it's cool. And they just had the previous Doctor Who was a female, and I forget her name. I know she was in Attack the Block. She played the nurse in Attack the Block. But she was the previous Doctor Who, I think, for the last like 2 or 3 seasons, or maybe 4 seasons. But now they have him, so I'm excited to see what they do with that. And he'll become the next Doctor Who in 2023. So, yeah, pretty cool. And that's my last bit of news.
Awesome. Yeah, that is exciting news.
But yeah, I'm excited for that. I think it brings a lot more diversity to the show.
All right, first up, big news. In an update for the next Scream and its cast, we have some casting announcements. All right, so Jenna Ortega is back, Melissa Barrera, Jasmine Brown, and Mason Gooding as the Meeks. So it's Randy's niece and nephew, I believe.
Okay.
And the most interesting casting news to break this week: Scream 4's Hayden Panettiere will officially be back as Kirby in this next installment.
No way!
Yeah.
Oh man, that is cool. I'm excited to see that, man.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you would think, after this, I think the success of the previous one that just came out, people who are still alive in the franchise would be clamoring to come back to this, just to get a piece of the action. I mean, I thought the last one was really good, and the way they kind of changed the formula and kind of kept you on your toes a little bit.